Good evening and welcome to the final game of the Upper St. Clair varsity regular season, where tonight we picked a doozy for you. The Panthers against their heated rival, the number one ranked Bethel Park Blackhawks. As we get underway here, Panthers enjoying their home whites, skating left to right, and the beautiful black and orange jerseys for Bethel Park. This is a makeup game that happened to be on a day in February where we had about a high of 1 degree and school was canceled, and therefore the game was canceled, and we're finishing up the season. And the Panthers coming off a tough loss last night at Central Catholic. One thing about that Central game, they were down 5-1 at one time and came back and literally made it a 2-goal game 2 separate times. And the Panthers, I will have to say, have no quit in them this year. This team is something special. And here we go again, the dreaded Achilles heel of the Panthers. And here we start again with a quick penalty within the first minute. And boy, I got to tell you, that's exactly what happened last night, John. And I was going to say, if the Panthers have any chance of winning and going far into the playoffs, they're going to have to curtail these penalties. A hooking call here. Panthers got off to a 1-0 start and lead last night, and multiple penalties continued to happen, and the Panthers actually got down 5-1, which proved to be a mountain to climb. Now we're waiting they've dropped the puck, but the penalty is not on the board at the 14:06 mark. And Jack Sarma is going to get the call here. First penalty of the evening, number 8. I think it was a hooking call, and that will be at the 54-second mark. Jack Sarma battling a back injury here today. And they have number 20 up on the board, which is Pegnataro, but I don't believe that's Pegnataro in the penalty box. And the Panthers will skate shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. Taken by Moody, and he'll bang it around the board. It's going to be curtailed by the Bethel player number 22. Logan Bannon back to the point where Arister's blocked in front, and a good effort by the Panthers to clear it the length of the ice. I'm Kurt Carruth on your Panthers Television Network on a 5 o'clock game. Special thanks to John Sarabella, and I'm in my suit today, so right from work. Play will be stopped at the 13:22 mark. Panthers kill a 1:17 remain here in the man advantage for Bethel. And Richie Klein will take the draw. Panthers coming off some exciting hockey last night in a loss. I think it was 7-5, but it was just an end-to-end game. You might not see that with the tight defensive mind here with Bethel Park. These games usually don't open up for 12 goals. Classic Mount Lebanon and Bethel Park seem to be content getting that 1-2, 3-0 lead and sit on their defensive laurels. And we'll have to see. It's going to be very important, I think, for the Panthers to get that early lead. Shot on's going to go just whistling wide as number 19, Brian Brown, wrists it wide. And a good effort by the Panthers to clear it the length of the ice. Big guns here for Bethel. Graham Cohen, and a centering pass goes to Spadassini, and he's another big number. And a good transition back here by Pegnataro. He's going to lead the rush back 1-on-3. Going to be picked up by Graham Cohen, but comes off the blade and shot the length of the ice with 15 seconds to go in the man advantage. Panthers doing an excellent job fending off this first power play opportunity for Bethel, and that should do it, folks. With 2 to go, we're back skating now 5-on-5. Play comes around the near board, and Moody's unable to control. Going to be picked up, shot just whistles wide as we have Max Derora in the net for the second night in a row. Going to be taken by Pegnataro and dumps it down deep, and the Panthers will change. Seems to be a fairly wide open game here early, not much physical play. And the Panthers generally match up very well with if the transition game is not impeded. So we'll have to see if the speed of Bethel Park curtails the Panthers or if we're able to handle it. One thing you can always say about the Bethel Park teams, probably one of the best conditioned teams that the Panthers will face all year long. Taken by DeGangi, and he's back from an injury, back to see him playing, number 19. Solid blue liner for the Panthers, and we'll be seeing more of him in the years to come. Panthers graduating a tremendous amount of seniors here. And we'll see who will take the lead on the goal scoring next season. I was commenting to the boys last night, it was kind of very similar where you had a few players you never would have taken the step up, but Richie Klein came up and filled the shoes of the Crockett's of the world and Pencrotts, and a breakaway here. Oh my, golden opportunity there for the Panthers, for the Bethel Park Blade Runners. Blackhawks, I'll get it right. Shot goes wide. It's all Blackhawks here. Shot one-timer, good save by Derora. It's loose, and John, look how they crashed a goal. Classic Bethel Park play here. They get that shot on, and you'll see 2 or 3 orange jerseys going right to the net. And a big early save by the Panthers, and Derora looks good. Lehman's going to take it in the corner, and it's all Bethel here. 5-on-5. Panthers look extremely tired out there. He's going to be knocked down on an interference call, and Coach Harford already starting on the referees. And boy, I tell you what, it just seems like the Panthers just can't get that early call or that break. Shot right on, it's blocked in front, and boy, ice the puck. Wow, end-to-end hockey, and there's sticks flying, coach is screaming, and boy, I tell you what, as you can see, a very intense game here. And Coach Harford in his black pinstripe, red tie, red shirt, white collar, has the St. Clair colors on today. Well, it's no denying these two teams don't like each other, and I think it plays out for a very emotional game. Both coaches, Jim McVeigh and Coach Harford, are extremely competitive. And I think this game's going to come down to who really gets that early break and scores that first goal or two. Panthers clawing it out here so far. We're tied at 0. Opportunity here where the Panthers try to get to a loose puck, where good play by Klein on the board. Going to be picked up by McHugh, and he's unable to control. Be careful. 2-on-1 breaks out. Shot, just whistles wide. And once again, I'm not sure what the shot total is here, but I'm not sure if the Panthers have even mustered a shot on goal here in the first period. We're at the 9-minute mark, but playing extremely well defensively. Back to Moody, and a shot right on, and a good save. And he'll hold on for a stop and play with 8:51 to go here in the first. Your score 0-0. Shot goes wide by the Panthers, who controlled the goal, the draw. Goaltender number 1, Peter Cosentino in goal for the Blackhawks. Taken by DeGangi in a nifty little play at the blue line. And Pegnataro tries a wide-angle shot to no avail. Have me talking stocks with the market down 420 points today. A little punchy is right. It was a pleasure to get to the rink after that bloodbath. Taken by Pegnataro on the near wing, and he looks for number 82, Michael McKelvey. And you've got two feisty players out there with McKelvey and Pegnataro. Panthers, John, have to keep their shifts here to a minimum because this is a game where the third period is going to be crucial, and we're going to be waved for a hand pass here by Bethel Park. And we'll have a stop and play and a face-off at center ice with 7:51 to go here in the first. Coach McVeigh with his hands spread out, wanting an explanation, but to no avail. Taken by the Panther. Oh, nifty pass there to Lehman. That shot's going to go high and wide, and a wide-angle shot by Spadassini will also whistle wide. Taken by Bourgeois in the corner, and he flips it back, but a nifty shot again at the point, and once again there for a rebound. And Derora early here doing an excellent job curtailing the puck, and there is no rebound. And early 5 o'clock p.m. game shot on. Oh, another big save and a deflection. Boy, John, I don't know how that stayed out, but an incredible save by Derora as that puck was shoulder high and batted down. The most difficult save for a goaltender to make. And Derora was sharp to the task as that puck was bouncing a foot or two in front of him. And as I was saying, this is a slot. Since today was the last day, this is the last game of the regular season. This is the Panthers' normal practice time between 5 and 6:30, and that's why this game is being played at 5 o'clock. And making it difficult for me, the announcer, and the cameraman, John, we're going to the Penguin game tonight. So we could be 6:04 and out the door tonight. Give and go there as he looked for Spadassini and Lehman. Looks like these two have played together once before. And a mini break here as Gideon looks for the puck at center ice, and he takes a heavy hit at center, and right back on the attack is Bethel Park. Takes it wide on a centering pass. Panthers doing an excellent job defensively here, John. And they're playing some disciplined hockey. And the defense has not broken down here in the first 9 minutes, playing very, very well with a Bethel Park attack that just continues to bring it. Shot from a weird angle, and it's taken again. A good clearing pass, and Moody there to clear the play. And once again, the Panthers just struggling to lead a rush back. As quick and aggressive as Bethel Park is, John, it just seems like when they go on the attack, the Panthers, there's always 3 men back. So it's hard to believe you can be so aggressive on the front and not have weaknesses on the back, but that's the speed of Bethel Park, and this team likes to play both ends of the ice. Good play there by the Panthers to disrupt a play in the corner. And he's pulled down, no call, and that will be cleared the length of the ice. Icing will be called. And the Panthers will go for a line change. And with 5:21 to go here in the first, your score still 0-0. Face-off controlled by Bethel Park. Shot right on, deflected. And a good save again by Derora, and we'll do it all over again. To the left of Max Derora, number 30. Is Chuck Greenberg in the house? We've got some good tunes going on. Chuck, always known for his tremendous CD mixes for the hockey team, and Chuck's still involved in the program. I think he's got a son, Benny, still playing on the junior varsity team. Oh, nice opportunity here for the Panthers. Here comes Gralty down the left wing, and he had Yealy trailing, and a good opportunity there as a mini two-on-one developed. Yealy behind the net. He's pulled down, and boy, we're going to draw a penalty here. And a nice opportunity and a good aggressive play by Yealy. And the Panthers will go on a power play of their own. With 4:35 to go here in the first, Panthers will enjoy a two-minute man advantage. And we'll see if the Panthers can strike first. Face-off controlled by the Blackhawks, but kept in neatly by Moody. Klein with a weird wide angle, and boy, I almost had a good opportunity there, and a blistering shot hit the pad of Constantine and cleared back to center. Lohman takes the puck, coming off an incredible 3-goal game against Central Catholic. The hat trick. And that shot right on, taken by Spadassini, and that had to leave a mark. Good play by Yealy at the point shot. Oh boy, and a screen shot. That just whistled wide. It's going to be corralled by Bethel, and they'll lead the rush back 2-on-2. Lehman shot. Oh, what a save by Durar, and it was camped on the doorstep, and right back on the attack comes Pagnataro, and that's going to come off his blade. To Klein with a shot, and the Big Ben's going to strike one, and a beautiful effort there by Rich Klein. I think the Bethel Park defenseman actually perhaps screened his own goaltender, and Klein with a blistering shot. Taken back 1-on-1 here, where Lohman's going to be back against Lehman. Big time defensive effort there by Lohman, playing both ends of the ice. And he tried the Johnny Markwell toe drag. Patent number 239512. Still alive and well in Dayton, Ohio. Playing hockey with Anthony Sarabella. And Lohman's going to lead the rush. Big time shot by Constantine. And I just got my Penguin ticket, so I'm a happy man. 12 seconds to go here in the man advantage for the Panthers. And it's going to be kept in neatly by Lohman. Back to the point. Klein with another strike on the goalpost, and that's 2 for Richie Klein. Boy, blistering shots, and had Constantine beat both times, John. And right out of the box. Be careful here. Shot. Oh, big time save by Durar right off the mask. And you want end-to-end hockey, folks. No trapping defense here. They're bringing it on both sides of the equation. Excellent 2-minute opportunity there for the Panthers as they hit the goalpost twice in their two-minute advantage. Taken by Lucas here in the corner. Going to be dug out by Pagnataro, and he's going to lead the rush back. Gives it up for number 91, Moody, picked up by Surma. And he banks it off the center ice glass. And going to be dumped back in by Moody. Panthers go for a quick change here. Surma once again banks it off the board, and a good effort there by Bagdy. Going to be helped out by Lucas. Unable to control, and it'll be picked up by number 22, Logan Bannon. Leaves it for Spadassini. He takes a power move of his own, a centering pass. Beautifully defected there by number 19, DeGangi. And boy, the Panthers playing exceptionally well here, John, on defense tonight. Very disciplined defensive style with no breakdowns here in the first period. 1:12 to go in the first, scoreless tie. And they've held off a tremendous onslaught in the early part of the game. And the Panthers with the better of the play in the last 4 minutes. Play is still loose at center, where it's going to be picked up by Lehman, and he's going to blast it on. Saved by Durar, and a nifty move by Yealy, and he banks it off the glass. Going to be picked up by the Panthers, and Sersosimo will dump it down deep. Played by a pair of 22s. Bannon will try to corral it. Kept in neatly at the point by Yealy. Dumps it behind the goal and nobody home. Bagdy will get there first. Rags it behind the goal for Lohman, but nobody home. And picked up by number 3, again, not on the roster. That's twice this season. Number 3 has not been on the roster. 15 seconds to go. Shot on. Oh, saved by Durara. And he had him point blank from 15. And another big-time save by goaltender Max Durara, and he has been exceptionally sharp here in the first, and that'll do it, folks. An excellent, excellent period of hockey played by both teams. And the Panthers fight off a tremendous, tremendous offensive effort in the first 5 and last 5 minutes of the period, and had the better of the play in the middle part of the period. So a 0-0 score, 15 minutes to go here in the second. Your score 0-0. You know, this team, the character, I think, John, really started from that North Allegheny / Meadville game. I think that, if you would say, was a turning point of the season. Kind of a lethargic effort in the beginning. Our schedule really didn't play many tough teams, so we got off to a big start. Ran into a tough stretch there when we played Mount Lebanon and Bethel in a series of 3 or 4 games in a row. But I tell you, they were totally outplayed in that NA game, and they came back to tie that game and were ready to go on a one-man advantage for 45 seconds and 3-3, and they took 2 penalties, which in my mind were blatant penalties that should not have been called. Needless to say, they lost that game 4-3, but ever since that, this team bounced back and beat Meadville here at home. And when this team gets down, I've got to honestly say, and I've watched St. Clair hockey here for many years, I've never seen a team that has no quit in them. And last night was a true example, being down 5-1. Teams in the past might have packed it in. This team played till the very last second. Shot on again by Lehman. Oh, big-time saves here, 2 in a row by Durara, and a third one. And boy, once again, the first 15 seconds, Bethel able to get 3 quality shots right on Durara, and he says no. Once again, the physical play starts to pick up here in the second period. Be taken by Lehman, and he's curtailed by number 8, Surma. Shot's going to go way wide. Comes back to the point where number 18, Matthew Seifert, tries to play it. Picked up here by Spadassini. Be careful. Oh, big-time effort by a pair of 11s. Richie Klein back to Spadassini. Big save again by Durara. And one thing they weren't doing last night, John, is clearing those rebounds. Many times, Durara would make that initial save. But the Panthers doing an excellent job here tonight, helping their goaltender and playing one of the best defensive games I've seen all season. And they've saved the best for the last game of the regular season as we get ready to go into the playoffs, which I believe begin next week. The early line is it could be North Hills or Plum in the first round, and I would assume we would have a home game based here in the Ice Castle on our seeding, as I think the Panthers will finish in the top 6. Taken by number 26, John O'Loman. Leaves it for 82, McKelvey. And he's going to wheel and deal, and he's got Pagnataro caught in the corner. Centering pass goes by the mark. And finally going to be picked up by number 16, Graham Cohen. And he's going to take the puck wide. Good play there by Yealy as he disrupts him. And he's going to lead the rush back to McKelvey. Oh, Panthers had a mini 3-on-1 there developing. Unable to control, and here you're seeing, John, finally some of the aggressive play almost caught Bethel short on the backside, and it could be a matter of time. You keep sending 3 or 4 guys in, the math will not add up on the back end. Delayed offside is going to be waved off, and the Panthers a good job as they'll drive it down deep a la Mount Lebanon. And they're watching a little bit of the Mount Lebanon highlight film. Oh, boy, and a deflected shot there. Yeah, trip, nothing called, and a good opportunity for the Panthers. Oh, be careful here. And Surma's down with a back injury, and he's hurting. He gambled a little on the play, and he's really wincing in pain as he goes to the bench. Oh, almost could have been called for too many men there as Bethel was caught with a change. And the player kind of Gave Surma a little bit of a move, and it kind of tweaked his back, and we'll have to keep an eye on number 8, Jack Surma, to see if he returns. I know he's nursing a back injury sustained last night in the Central Catholic game. And this is not a team that makes it any easier on a defenseman. 12:14 to go here in the second. Shot on, good save, Durar, rebound. Another excellent effort there by the Panthers as they clear the play. And once again, Panthers look extremely disciplined on the defensive end. Taken by DeGangi, and he rams it over to Lucas, picked up by number 6, Tim Gralty. Delayed offside where the Bethel player will be unable to control it. Taken to Yealy, and he'll drive it down deep. Played by goaltender number 1, Constantino. Picked up in the corner by Klein. Unable to control, and Bethel will lead the rush back to center. Taking the length of the ice, and icing will indeed be called. And with 11:31 to go here in the second, your score still 0-0. Face-off controlled by the Panthers. McHugh with a shot. It's loose. And boy, the Panthers doing another good job swarming the net. We tried to picked up by Gideon, but unable to control, and kept in at the point by Yealy. And he's going to get back. 3-on-2 breaks back. Taken by Spadassini. Looks for Lehman. It's loose. And another opportunity there. And a good play by the Panthers to clear the rebound. So the goaltender doing his job and being helped out extremely well here, not only by the forwards, but by the defense. Another golden opportunity for Bethel Park, and a point-blank save from 5 feet again by Durar as he got that left pad down. Lehman's going to take a power move of his own, and a centering pass goes by the mark. It's all Bethel Park here, and the thing you've got to be careful with is you get some tired troops, John, when this cycling starts to work, and this is where you need to either ice it or tie it up. And this is where Bethel will just grind it down. It's loose, and we need to clear the puck, and a good job by McHugh. And he gets it out of the zone, but unfortunately, Panthers unable to make a change here, and Bethel comes right back on the attack. Cohen with a centering pass goes by the mark. Tied up by number 26, Lohman. Back to the point, unable to get it out of the zone, and finally cleared the length of the ice, and the Panthers have to hustle back here as their bench is on the other side of the ice. That play normally, John, would be flagged for icing, but that shot was right on the goal. Shot on, what a save by Durar, and a penalty is going to be called here, and a hooking call, and if there is ever such a thing, John, as a good penalty, he impeded the player just enough to make that shot go wide, but a better save by Durar as that was a quality shot on goal. And Bethel Park will go on their second man advantage of the game. Number 19, DeGangi's going to get the gate. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of that penalty will come at the 9:51 mark here left in the second period. And the Panthers will have to kill a one-man disadvantage for the next 2 minutes. Shot on, screenshot. Once again, an incredible save by Durar, and he's stopping everything but the kitchen sink here. Delayed offside here, so Bethel will have to tag back up. Panthers bank it back to center. Lohman will chip it off the glass, and it's going to be picked up by Bethel, who'll lead the rush back. Number 19, Brian Brown, will bank it off the board, but a good play by the Panthers. And they'll kick it back behind goaltender Constantino, and they'll have to set up play again. McHugh's come in, number 7. We haven't seen Surma return with the back injury. Good call by John there. Helped out by number 91, Moody, who's playing back. Shot one-timer, and boy, that just whistled wide. And we had the best seat in the house for that angle. One thing about working these games, we usually get the best seat in the house. Shot again, comes off the pad of number 30, Durar, and he's just shining in this first and second period. Another shot, point blank, shot on, save again by Durara, and they're swarming like bees around a hive here, John. And look at the goaltender interference here, and boy, Spadassini in the middle playing very aggressive as the 4 on the corner. Try to advance the play, back to the point where Lehman for Spadassini, shot on, scored. And it was probably a matter of time, but a big-time set play, and boy, Durara was in position, and I'm not sure if that went 5-hole, but a big-time shot by Bethel, and they rung it home to take an early 1-0 lead, a power play goal at the 8:19 mark. Well, once again, they work the corner so well, and when they make that cross-ice pass, if you're playing a box 4, there's going to be an opening there. And he had a one-timer from about 15 feet. And he tickled the twine to go up on a 1-0 early lead here by the Bethel Park Blackhawks. And once again, Bethel making you pay for a penalty here. And that's what teams like Bethel and Mount Lebanon do. They'll sit and be patient. And if you give them an opportunity on a power play, they usually cash in. 7:50 to go here in the second period. Taken by Sersosimo in the corner. Oh, and a heavy hit on Pegnataro, and he'll lose his edge. Panthers need to strike back here with a quick goal of their own. Got a mini break here. 2-on-1 develops. And once again, the swarming defense, man, it's just incredible. As soon as you think you have a 2-on-1 develop, you have 4 Bethel Park players swarming on the puck. And that 2-on-1 turns into a non-event as the shot goes right back towards Durara, and we'll have a stop and play. And with 7:29 to go here in the second, Panthers trail 1-0. Face-off controlled by the Blackhawks. But once again, Panthers had a mini 3-on-2 develop, but unable to control the play. It'll be taken by Bourgeois, picked up behind the goal by number 91, Moody. That play's going to go through the crease to the point, a soft shot on, and that's going to be picked up by brother Eric Surma. 2-on-1 breaks back the other way. Good play by number 17, Eric Surma, and once again a 3-on-2 breaks back. Oh boy, a little offside play there and a good call, and Lohman got his skate caught up, and number 97, Bourgeois, was in ahead of the play. And thus we have offside. And we'll have a face-off outside the blue line with 6:49 to go in the second. Face-off controlled by the Panthers. And that play is going to come around the board where number 17, Eric Surma, will bank it back to center. Play is still loose at center, and a good effort there by number 91, Moody. And he's got Lohman trailing. Kept in neatly by the Panthers at the point. Ely's going to take a big move. Shot just goes wide. Helped out by Lohman with a back pass. Play's going to be picked up by the defense of Bethel. And they'll chip it back to center. Good effort again by Eric Surma. And he'll have to wait till they get onside. Shot on. Good play by the Panthers to get it back to center. Once again, Panthers playing a very, very disciplined style of defense today. Oh, picked off by Bourgeois, and he's hooked. And a good call here by the official. And they caught him with his hand in the cookie jar. And Bourgeois creating an opportunity as a clearing pass hit him right in the chest. And as he went for a wrister, he was hooked. And a good call by the official. Call will go on number 18, Matthew Seifert, at the 5:51 mark, and the Panthers will enjoy a one-man advantage for the next 2 minutes. Face-off controlled by Bethel Park. And they'll clear it the length of the ice. And Moody will regroup. Passes it over to Klein, and an icing call will be called here. And the Cardinals sin on the power play. But we'll have a stop and play with 5:32 to go here in the second period. Face-off once again controlled by the Panthers. Blistering shot on from the left point off the chest of Durara. And another quality save by goaltender Max Durara. Shot cleared back. And Yealy will take it with 1:20 to go here in the man advantage. Panthers having a difficult time clearing the zone, and that's going to be shot out of the rink and past the meshing. And there is a souvenir. And the faceoff will come at center ice with 5:02 to go in the second. 1:12 remains in the Panther man advantage. Some early workout, folks, up in the facility, enjoying a free look at a hockey game. And boy, that's one way to ride a treadmill, watch Bethel Park and St. Clair play. Probably makes the 45 minutes go a little bit quicker. We are not just a one-stop shop. We can get side action and ancillary business. So if we see it, you'll see it. Lohman with a good effort as he tries to take it in the corner, but he's going to be picked off. Centering pass, be careful here. Oh, and he robbed him. The big-time glove save again by Durara. And Lohman a little upset with himself as he lost that puck. And a big-time save there by Durara as they almost had a shorthanded tally, but Max said no. And a big-time glove save by Durara. Yeah. Face-off controlled by the Panthers, where Pegnataro has 4 Bethel Park players on him. And it's just incredible. Sometimes I find myself, John, counting the orange shirts out there, and I continue to come up with 5, but it is an incredible, incredible swarming defense. And it's just an amazing thing that they don't cut caught overweighting one side, but the speed of this team is pretty evident that they can attack a player and get right back in position. And that's the important thing that the Panthers, in my opinion, John, have to keep these shifts and these players fresh here. As difficult as it is to sometimes get 2 or 3 lines out there, you've got to keep these players fresh for the third period. Centering pass comes right in front, and he's going to fan on the shot. Oh, and he gets it off on his back. And another big-time save by Durara. As number 19, I believe that's 19, Brown, got a shot on as he was going down, but a better save once again by Durara. Back to skating here, 5-on-5, 3:37 to go in the second period. Panthers trail 1-0. Bethel Park controls the play back to the point, and it comes outside the zone. Bethel has to tag back up here, and Cohen's going to lead the rush. He tries to split the defense a la Sidney Crosby, and the Panthers lead it back 3-on-2. And I'm not sure why the whistle there. I'm not sure if that hit a player on the bench, but we'll have a stop and play with 3:14 to go here in the second. Face-off controlled by the Bethel Park Blackhawks, but given up at center. Finally going to be taken by number 20 for the Blackhawks, Jonathan Lothar. Taken behind the goal, and once again, Panthers doing an excellent job defending. Big time Kevin Lucas, number 15, out there. Comes back to the point, screen shot's going to go high and wide. Picked back and kicked out of the zone, and Gralty looks to chase for it. Be picked up by Lucas, and he has to wait for Gralty to get onside. Good play by Kevin Lucas. Centering pass. Oh, and a backhander just goes wide by Bagdy, and a good scoring opportunity, the best of the game for the Panthers at the 2:27 mark. Nice give and go there. Shot on. Big blocker save there again by Durara. And it's end-to-end hockey here. They're letting them play. Taken by Bagdy, and a nice little feather pass over to Yealy, but you've got to get that play out here, and Panthers look tired. DeGangi, and boy, Bethel changes right in front of them as their bench is literally 3 feet away. Bethel's going to drive it down deep here, and Yealy and DeGangi have been out here for a long time. And once again, John, you've got to keep those shifts here to a minimum. Big power move, backhand shot, save, rebound, it's loose. Oh, it's shot over the net. Oh my, a one-timer, and he batted it out of the air. Shot on, score. And Durara found himself on his back and thought he might have saved the last one, but apparently went between the 5-hole or just slipped under the pad. And boy, the incredible attack of Bethel with 3 or 4 quick shots, and Durara said no for the first 3, but couldn't stop the last. And boy, and back-breaking goal here by the Blackhawks with 1:39 to go here in the second, and they'll take a 2-goal lead. Well, I'd love to hear the shots on goal tally here this evening. It's got to be incredibly one-sided here to the favor of Bethel Park, and they come right back at you. Shot on, another save, rebound, shot, score. And once again, just an onslaught of offense. They just continue to bring it. And Durara makes that first big save, but unable to curtail the rebound. And the Panthers find themselves victim to another quick strike here by Bethel Park and find themselves trailing 3-0 with 1:25 to go here in the second. Well, and that's why it's important. You played just such an incredible first 28 minutes of play with defensive, just couldn't be any better. And that's when you hope you can chip a goal or two in there to take that early 1 or 2-0 lead. And once Bethel gets you down, they want to continue to bring it. And the Panthers find themselves with an incredible mountain to climb here, trailing the Blackhawks 3-0. And I'm not sure if Bethel's still undefeated, John, but they've had an incredible season here. And it looks like we're going to get an elbowing call here, and frustration may start to kick in here by the Panthers, who in my mind have played an incredible game until this penalty, John. They've only really had 2 penalties, and the one by DeGangi was a good penalty as he had a player streaking in. So the Achilles heel of the Panther has been solved for this game, but nevertheless, Bethel still enjoys a 3-0 lead. And the Panthers very impressive so far in the first 2 periods. Well, the speed of this team is just incredibly evident. And the Panthers doing everything they can and have played this team relatively even. Now shot again right on. Big save by Durara. And once again, they just continue to pound the net. And a little bit of extracurricular. But a good save by Max Durara. 32 seconds to go here in the second. Man advantage of 140. And if Bethel Park does not score on this penalty, power play opportunity, that shot on, score. And there had to be about 5 players that screened Max Durara. I didn't even see the shot go in, but you heard the response, and a blistering slap shot from the point by, I believe, number 19, Brown. Or it might have been Lehman. Not sure if it was Lehman or Brown. But nevertheless, 3 quick strikes here in the last 3 minutes for Bethel Park, and the Panthers don't know what has hit them. And 2 power play goals for the Bethel Park Blackhawks, and the Panthers now trail 4-0. And once again, they continue to bring it here. Not content with a 4-goal lead. And we'll have to see what they'll do here in the third period. Usually this team will sit back and rest on their laurels, play a very tight defensive style and be happy with a 4-goal lead. But this is a very, very impressive team this year, John. Not only do they have the speed, but they have the shot-making capability, and now the frustration's starting to kick in here a little for Upper St. Clair. Well, an incredible 2 periods of hockey, folks, I tell you. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of the score here, but if you like end-to-end physical open hockey, you can tune in and watch this game because these first 2 periods have been fun to watch. Dorora certainly the #1 star here, even though he's given up 4 goals. He's faced an onslaught of shots. So we'll let them cut the ice. We'll be back for exciting 3rd period action in a moment. 2 periods of hockey I've ever seen, and with a minute 39, the Bethel Park Blackhawks scored 3 quick strikes to take a 4-0 lead. And you can play defense, 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 but ultimately it wears you down. And Bethel with the quick strikes now enjoys a 4-0 lead. Max DeRoer playing extremely well here once again in the nets, saving probably close to 40 or 50 shots on goal in the first 2 periods. And McHugh's going to take the play behind goaltender number 30, DeRoer. Gives it to Lohman. Shot right on. Panthers with 2 quick shots here early in the 3rd. Going to be taken back by number 19, Brown, and he's pulled off his stick, nothing called. Kept in at the point by number 18, Seifert. Shot's going to go wide. Kick down deep where Yealy will try to play. A good effort there defensively by number 56, Yealy. Shot on, big save again by DeRoer, and he's going to hold on. And another quality shot there by Bethel Park. And we visibly saw Jack Surma walking off the ice after the 2nd period with that back injury, and I'm sure he'll be done for the evening. Sustaining a back injury last night and has been magnified here this evening on a play at center ice. Well, Panthers need to keep their heads held high here. Panthers have played this undefeated team extremely well. And if they think they can get back in, are going to have to strike here early in the 3rd period. Back to the point shot. Oh, just whistles wide. That's going to go by the right pad of DeRoer. And here comes McKelvey, and he'll skate back. Once again, 4 Bethel Park players on him. Just absolutely incredible to watch. You see a 2-on-1 develop, and before you know it, our player has 4 orange jerseys on it. What a pass by McKelvey on the tape of Pegnataro. And once again, before Don could pull the trigger, he had somebody impeding his stick. And that shot's going to go up into the meshing. And we'll have a stop and play with 12:35 to go here in the 3rd. Bethel Park leads 4-0. Face-off controlled by the Panthers, going to be picked up by Bethel Park. They chip it back to center where Eric Surma will drive it back into the zone. Going to be taken by number 7, who is not on the roster. Centering pass, rebound shot. It's loose, and they ram it. And another big save again by DeRoer. And boy, once again, incredible, incredible play after the whistle. And this team just smells blood. And when they see that puck, they just go right to the goal. And a big-time save again by DeRoer as he faced 3 or 4 shots from point-blank range. Face-off controlled by the Panthers. Comes into the corner where McHugh will tie it up. Helped out by Bagdy and number 15, Lucas. Panthers going to lose his edge. McHugh goes down. And looks like we're going to have a tripping call here. And at the 12:14 mark, the Panthers will go on a much-needed power play of their own. And number 2 will be flagged with the 2-minute minor, Ramsey Netzel, for tripping. And the Panthers will have a power play of their own for the next 2 minutes with 12:14 to go here in the third. Faceoff is controlled by the Blackhawks, and it's rammed down deep behind number 30, DeRora. Good play by Yealy. And once again, he has 2 orange jerseys on him, and the forechecking is incredible. Finally going to be skated back to center. Oh, and a big-time move there by Yealy. Comes back 2-on-2. Voids a hip check, and he'll lose his edge. Play comes into the corner, but kept in neatly by DeGangi at the right point. And it's going to be chipped up into the net. And we'll have another stop and play here with a face-off to the left of goaltender number 1, Peter Cosentino. .125 remains in the man advantage for the Panthers. Richie Klein will take the draw. Controlled by Bethel, but unable to get it out. A good play by Moody at the right point. Over to Yealy, a shot, and a set play, and he's cross-checked with nothing called. Finally going to be chipped out of the zone in a mini breakaway. Lehman streaks back. 1-on-0. Shot on. Oh, what a save by DeRora. And boy, does he look sharp. It is an absolute clinic here tonight in goal. And you look at the, oh boy, and the Panthers are going to be flagged here with a little bit of a chippy call here. Referee Harmon going to get a cross-checking call here on number 91, Moody. And they'll even it up here, and the Panthers will skate 4-on-4 for the next 56 seconds. And then Bethel Park will go on a power play of their own with 1:04 remaining in their man advantage. Face-off controlled by the Blackhawks, and number 16 Cohen shoots it right on, but another big save by DeRora. Taken by Lohman, and he's unable to control it. Comes off his stick and right back on the attack. Here comes Bethel. Oh, and he's upended, nothing called. And boy, I tell you what, Pegnataro had his legs pulled out from under him, and I'm surprised there was nothing called. Looked like a little bit of a hook. And in front of both referees, they're going to let him play on. Play is down behind the goaltender, number 30, DeRora, and it's going to be picked up here by Pegnataro. Oh, and a good outlet pass. Breakaway here for Yealy. Shot. Score. Oh, it just goes wide. I thought it went in, and the referee actually signaled. And I'm not sure if he called a goal here. And I'm not sure if it went in and kicked out. I'm not sure what the call here is. It looked like it was saved and it went off the side of the net, but the referee pointed here, and indeed there will be no goal. And it looked like from our angle it originally went in, but we plain as day saw the puck on the corner of the goal here, but the referee did make a motion for a goal. And a breakaway by Yealy, and unfortunately, Don, that puck was bouncing the whole way to the goal, and Yealy was really unable to get a clean shot off. But nevertheless, a good effort there and the first good scoring opportunity for the Panthers. And he's going to wave Klein and number 3 out of the face-off circle, where McKelvey will come in to take the draw, won by Bethel Park. And right back on the attack, 4-on-4, they come back 3-on-2. Shot on, another big save here by DeRora. And now the Bethel Park Blackhawks have a power play of their own for the next minute. Taken shot on, score, way too easy. And a set play here. Once again, they come through the crease. And DeRora, pretty much there was nothing he could do. And a quick pass to an open one-timer. And Bethel Park gets their third power play goal here of the evening. And they wasted no time, Don. 10 seconds into their power play, they get their 5th tally of the night. And the Panthers, playing an exceptional game here, find themselves down 5-0. Hard to believe. You look at the box score and you say 5-0, and your goalie played his heart out here tonight. Just an absolute clinic here by Max DeRora. But this team just continues to bring it, and even with a 5-goal lead, continues to look for more goals. Well, this team could be very hard to beat in the playoffs. A very, very disciplined team, a very, very quick team, and a team that is driven, and a team that wants more. Taken by Lohman, and he'll streak back with 9:23 to go here in the third. And once again, they start out with a mini break, and they find themselves swarming the ice, and they have way too many men on the ice. Panthers have 6 men on and got away with their hand in the cookie jar here. We had 6 skaters and a goaltender, and that was a very generous line change. And even with 6 players, we find ourselves struggling. So, wow. Maybe we can try that. Shot on, rebound, oh, and that just goes wide. Another big save there by DeRora. Penalty here, delayed penalty on the Panthers. It's going to shot, it's just going to go wide, and now Bethel with 6 attackers on as they pulled the goaltender. Still shot wide, and Klein is down here, and they're finally going to call an injury timeout here. And Bagdy takes a little bit of an exception here. A little bit of a melee here in the center ice area. Bagdy coming to the defense of his own teammate here, and tempers are starting to flare up. Not sure what happened to Klein, but apparently nothing's going to be called, and a lot of the Panther fans are yelling a cheap shot. I was really unable to see it as Donna was following the play at the goal, but apparently a play was not seen here, and might have been a cheap shot to Klein as he was down in pain and the whistle was blown, but to no avail. The Panthers will find themselves shorthanded here as Bethel Park will go on a man advantage for the next 2 minutes. Well, and it gets the frustration mode here is perhaps evident here, and the Panthers again really, and I'll be the first to tell them, have nothing to hang their hats. I mean, you never want to see yourself lose 5-0, but this team is just, you played them tough for a minute and 3/4, but, and here we go, and they're going to even them up here. And here a little bit of temper starting to flare here, and Bagdy got to gain some control here, and he's frustrated like everybody else, and looks like they're going to whistle them both off here. 2 roughing calls here, and this is where the referees, Don, really need to take control of this game. Now, it's pretty obvious it's a mountain to 5-goal deficit's going to be pretty tough to come back on, and this is where the crosstown rivalry really starts to kick in. If you beat us in the goal column, we'll try to beat you on the physical column, and Panthers have been on both sides of this. Usually find themselves leading at this point in time when it starts to get chippy, but once again, the Panthers really have nothing to hang their heads about this game. It's been an incredible offensive onslaught by the Bethel Park Blackhawks, and an incredible game in goal once again by Max DeRora, but find themselves on the short end of a 5-0 score here, and it looks like we're going to have 2 minors here on the Blackhawks. And it looks like the Panthers, looks like they got maybe a coincidental minor here, Bagdy and one other player, and they're going to flag number 6, Lehman, with the other penalty. So the Panthers in a minute 38, Don, will have a mini power play of their own for 22 seconds. So we'll skate 4-on-4. And I think a timeout indeed has been called here at the 8:08 mark. And we'll see if cooler heads will prevail. Well, to the credit for this Bethel Park team, a couple years ago, the Panthers really had the edge in the Bethel Park program. They had finally climbed that hurdle, and I think played them 500 and perhaps even beat them in a first round at one time. But boy, this team has bounced certainly back and is a very, very impressive force, and a force to be reckoned with in the Penguin Cup, which starts in 1 week. Not sure where the Panthers will fare here. Probably perhaps 7th place in the Penguin Cup standings, which will probably get them at least one home game. We think they could be flanked against Plumboro or North Hills, and if they win that round, there's a pretty good chance that seat 7 will play seat number 2, and that would be Mount Lebanon. So a daunting task ahead, and we'll keep you informed and look forward to another postseason for your own Upper St. Clair Panthers. Well, we'll skate 4-on-4 here for the next minute 38, and the Panthers will go on a power play of their own. Taken by number 16, Cohen, and that's going to be picked up by number 91, Moody, and he breaks back one-on-one and has 4 orange shirts on him again. It's absolutely incredible. And once again, right back on the attack comes Bethel. Cohen's going to rag it. Shot on, big save by Derora. Well, and here we go again. And, you know, you got to pull the reins in once in a while. And, boy, Bethel just continues to attack our goaltender. And to the defense of the Panthers here, I've got to say they're protecting our own goaltender. And the aggressive play of Bethel Park continues to frustrate the Panther faithful, and to the credit of Gideon, he came into the defense, Don, of his own goaltender here. So
these guys are like bees, bro. They see that puck around the net. They're all on the goaltender.
yeah, it's an amazing thing to watch. And again, you know, the officials quick to make penalty calls here on the Panthers, but they've got to understand here that sometimes when the puck is covered up, yeah, you need to take matters, stop play, and I don't know what that penalty would be, but here we go again, another timeout here, and boy, I tell you, I feel like I'm at an NBA basketball game. I've got Penguin tickets, and it's already 6:24, and I was hoping for a quick third period here, but we've had 2 timeouts, and I think we've only had 30 seconds elapsed here on the clock, so looks like we'll be skating 3-on-2 here for the next minute 14, then 4-on-4, then back to a man advantage for Bethel Park. Nice crowd here tonight for an early game on both sides of the equation. The Panthers filling the rafters here in a much anticipated game here, last of the season. And the Bethel Park faithful as well always fills the stands. And folks, this is great hockey. $3 admission, come down and especially take in the Panthers here on the Penguin Cup playoff picture. And if you want to check out our website to see when this game could possibly be, our website is www.eteamz.com/USC hockey. Check it out. It's a great website. Lots of information. And come check your Panthers out in postseason play. Well, we're skating 5-on-3 here, and I don't get this. It's loose. And another penalty here and an interference call. And I don't know how you're skating 5-on-3 here.
Too many men.
5-on-3, you have a situation where you have 2 Two penalties here on the Panthers and one on the... I don't understand this, but... Well, they maybe perhaps don't have enough on the board, but you can't be, in my opinion, you have a penalty here up on the right side, and now they're skating 4-on-3, and indeed, and a broken stick here. You've got to drop that. You've got to drop that stick, and he finally does. And number 15, Kevin Lucas, was skating with a busted stick, which is a penalty. And we'll try to sort this penalty out here. I'm really confused on, unless there's a stacked penalty behind, and that could be. There might be a penalty behind the line where once this 52-second penalty elapses, another 2-minute penalty will start. And they call that a stack penalty. The board only has enough to have 2 penalties on it, so indeed I think that might be the situation. Be careful here. And Derora's going to gamble as he comes out here. Number 19, DeGangi's going to ride him into the board. We'll keep our eye here with the penalty with 29 seconds to go. And a mini break here, and Lohman's going to chase with number 25, Davin, unable to control. Taken by 56, Yealy, and he'll try to get back into play. Wow, end-to-end hockey, and number 19, DeGangi will take it. 9 to go here, and we're going to watch the board and see if a 2-minute penalty pops up. Comes back to the point with 3 to go. Right to the point, shot on. Oh, good save off the shoulder. And a 2-minute stack penalty did not come on the board. Still a little confused here. Shot's going to go wide. Now we're skating 4-on-4. And a shot on and a good save by Derora. Well, that was news to me. Well, the board is showing a 5-second penalty remaining here for the guest or Bethel Park, and Panthers 30 seconds remain in the Gideon penalty. So it looks like we're skating 4-on-4 here, and Bethel Park will have another man advantage for 25 seconds here in 5 seconds. Well, that's a first for me. I've been watching hockey for a long time, and I saw 2 penalties on the board on the left side, 1 penalty on the board on the visitor side. That means a 1-man advantage. And for a very big, long period of time, Don, they had a 2-man advantage there. And I'll look for an explanation, but at a later date. 6:13 remains here in the third. Panthers trail Bethel Park 5-0. Face-off controlled neatly in the corner by the Panthers. Going to be picked up by number 11, Richie Klein. Little nifty pass back to number 7, McHugh. He banks it around the board, but unable to get it out of the zone. Power play on for the Blackhawks. Still loose, and Klein's going to lead the rush back. Skates short-handed. Comes off the stick of Cohen. Going to go into the corner where number 13, Karen Bauer, will play it. It looks like we'll have a stop and play with 2 seconds remaining in the Blackhawk man advantage. And 5:46 remains here in the third period. Face-off controlled by the Blackhawks, and they're going to dump it the length of the ice. Oh, my. And a quick late decision by Derora to let that puck go by the mark. And a good decision, as Bethel Park was flagged with icing. And we'll do it all over again to the right of goaltender number 1, Peter Cosentino. Get a look at the bench of Bethel Park. They've got 4 or 5 skaters out there, and they have a full bench. I don't know how they'd be able to fill the bench because this team is stacked to the gills. Face-off controlled by Bethel Park, and they're going to dump it down deep. and look content here to play some defense and sit on a 5-goal lead. Taken by Lohman, and a nice little nifty pass there, and a beautiful transition to Pegnataro, and a shot goes right off the blocker, and a good effort there by number 20, Don Pegnataro. Play comes down deep, and Pegnataro's put on his wallet. Good play by Klein, and he rags it around the corner. Oh, centering pass goes by the mark. Pegnataro with a good backhanded shot, and that's saved. Good shift here by the Panthers. Right back on the attack is Bethel Park. And a good defensive effort there by DeGangi, and that's how you play the body. Backhanded shot, what a save again by Durar. And boy, once again, before you know it, DeGangi playing the puck in the corner, and the next thing you see, Don, that puck's right back in front of the goal. Here comes Lohman down the right wing, shot, oh, big save. And a big glove hand save there by, oh, and little tempers here, Klein now mixing it up with Bethel Park. And once again, tempers are heating up here as Klein and Seifert mix it up. And they'll probably both go to the bench. And looks like we'll have coincidental minors here perhaps. Klein over there pleading his case, but nevertheless he'll be sent for 2 minutes to the sin bin. Good point. Don said he'll never seen anyone win one of those battles, but for some reason, once again, and I'm not sure about this clock, but now they've got a 2-minute extra penalty up here for Bethel Park, and I'm not sure if we're skating 5-on-5 or if the Panthers have a man advantage. And boy, I tell you, this third period has dragged on forever. And it's a good thing they changed the tape after the second period. We might be past our allotted time here. And once again, I'm not sure. There's 5 people in the scoring booth here. I don't think you could fit another person over there. And the penalty box has 3 players and Mr. Surma. So, wow. 4:42 remains here in the third. It looks like somehow, some way, the Panthers got an extra 2 minutes out of this deal. I'm not sure if it was a double minor called on the Bethel player and Klein flagged for a 2-minute roughing call, but the Panthers go on a 2-minute power play, and they forgot to turn the clock on. So not only are we running late for the Penguin game, but we got an extra 5 minutes on the power play. Wow, I think we need to keep these games at 7 o'clock at night. Too much action at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Like a Wrigley Day game here for the Panthers. Now we have, and here that's going to be shot up into the rafters, and now all of a sudden we have coincidental minors, yet the Panthers still continue to skate one-man advantage. So something's not right on the scoreboard here tonight. And what's even funnier, Don, is you have penalties called at the same time, and they had 1:40 for the Panthers and 1:33, and they finally taken the Klein penalty off the board. So I think indeed that's what happened. There were 2 minor penalties called on Bethel Park and a coincidental minor on Klein, and that's why the Panthers have a man advantage and will continue to for the next 1:33. Well, that's a good point, Don, saying a psychological lift here. I mean, again, 5 goals is a pretty tough task here to come back on any team, let alone the #1 ranked Bethel Park Blackhawks. But be a nice ending to ruin the shutout, at least get 1 tally here on the board. And if the Panthers are going to strike, this is probably their best opportunity with 1:14 to go here in the man advantage. Panthers will regroup behind goaltender number 30, Derora, where DeGangi will wheel and deal, and that comes off the blade of Bourgeois. Unable to control. Good play by Bourgeois to keep it in, but right back to the Bethel defense, and they'll drive it back to center. 3:33 to go here in the third, 49 in the man advantage, and that'll be cleared the length of the ice. Played by Durara. And finally going to be picked up by Lohman, and he's going to lead the rush back. Good pass right on the tape of Trevor Yealy. That's going to come by, and he takes it back to center, goes to the backhander, and a swarming D by Bethel on their own makes that pass go by the mark. And Captain John O'Lohman will have to regroup himself. Big time shot there by Moody, and that shot right on, and a better save by Cosentino. And we'll have a stop and play with 2:59 to go here in the game, and 18 seconds remain in the man advantage for Upper St. Clair. Another shot right on from the face-off, and a good effort there by the Panthers. And Cosentino quick to make that save, and we'll do it again with 2:57 to go here in the third. And once again, McKelvey tries to quick shot right off the face-off, and that's going to be won by Bethel Park. Comes back to the point where DeGangi will bank it back to center, and that comes off the skate of McKelvey, and we'll have a stop and play. And a good catch by the referee. And we'll have a face-off outside the blue line with 4 seconds to go in the Panther man advantage. That'll do it. We're back to skating 5-on-5 here. And Lehman's going to get his stick caught in his own skates, and he goes down, but right back on the attack is Bethel. Back to the point. Shot's going to go on, and a good save again by Durara, and he cradled that. And we'll have a stop and play with 2:28 remaining in the third. 5-0, Bethel Park leads your Upper St. Clair Panthers. Face-off controlled by Bethel Park, 2:24 remaining. Centering pass, that goes by the mark. Good save again by Durara. Play comes back to center where it's going to be picked up by the orange Bethel Park number 7, checked neatly by Pagnataro. Adam Wicks out for a shift in the game. Going to be taken by number 17, Eric Sarma. Play comes back to the point, and Wicks looks to defend. Picked up by Yealy. Banked around the corner, taken back at the point by number 15, Nunez. Tied up by big-time check there by Wicks. And a little extracurricular there, and they came after Wicks here, and it was a solid check. Big-time check there by Wicks, and the Bethel player retaliated here. We're going to have to see what's called here. I think they're both going to get the gate. And I don't know about that call. I think that was a good hard check by Wicks. 2 roughing calls here, and we'll have coincidental minors here at the 140 mark. $140 to go here. Face-off controlled by the Panthers. McHugh's going to take a heavy hit in the corner. Play is still loose in the Panther zone, and finally the Panthers get it back to center. Play continues to be very physical here in the last minute of play. These are games you just want to get over, get off the ice, and move on. A well-fought game by both teams, and just incredible offensive output by Bethel and an incredible defensive effort by our own Panthers. Shot again, what a save by Durara, and he continues to be the #1 star here of the game. And I don't think I've ever awarded a #1 star on a team that's lost 5-0. Here comes Gralty, coming back, streaking down, shot on score! And Big Ben strikes one, and it drives it home, and Gralty's going to get the tally and ruin the shutout with 45 seconds to go. And I think he rammed it off both posts. And what an effort by Gralty. a big-time shot, and I think he rung it off both posts. And indeed, the Bethel team seems to be contesting the goal. But nevertheless, the tally stands. And if there's ever a sweet moment, the Panthers get a little of their own and break the shutout bid by Cosentino. And they continue to dispute the call here. And boy, I tell you what, let's just pack it up and go home, folks. Goaltender Cosentino giving up a goal, and Gralty picked him clean. And I think that rung off both. I think it was indeed in, Don, and he rang it home. A quick goal on a breakaway, and Gralty looks for more. Play comes back to center here. Gralty's tied up with the Bethel player. Comes back to center, 21 seconds to go here. Chipped off of the stick of number 15, Kevin Lucas. Taken by Spadassini, and he drives it down deep. Back to the point. Drive is going to go way wide. Bethel looks for a deflection. 7 seconds to go here in the third. Dumps down deep. Checks around the corner, back to the point, and that'll do it. And a good quick end to the 30, 40 seconds, and it was probably a blessing as the clock just continued to go on. A very well-fought game, and boy, if the Panthers had one thing to shine their hat on, indeed it was the tally they got there late at the end of the game. So a very mixed emotions here for this game. Bethel Park certainly the cream of the crop this year, and they brought their A game today. To the Panthers' credit, they hung in there, played them tight to a scoreless first period, played the first 11 or 12 minutes of the second period, 1-0, and the Bethel Park broke it open with a 1 minute and 39 spell where they scored 3 goals. Nevertheless, the final score of the game, 5-1. Our stars tonight indeed. The defensive effort for Upper St. Clair, and they played a tough-fought game here. And Tim Gralty with an excellent goal to break the shutout bid. So we're going to go to the Penguin game. We'll see you back for playoff hockey here on the Panthers Television Network. Have a good night, everybody.